morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome aboard. Good to see everyone here for some more info and possibly first look gameplay at Anno 11.7. Welcome back and good to see you all here. The other day on Twitter, the devs of Anno 11.7, aka, well, I guess Anno Union or just the Anno official account has notified us of a dev stream, which is going to be today. And so we're going to possibly see some gameplay footage. And we now have some information on Anno not any longer having 90-degree roads. It's probably not going to be a free build road, but there is a rumor now of 45-degree roads, which is confirmed in an image. Well, let's not say confirmed, but we've seen it. So there is a possibility that could be a thing. So welcome back. Good to see you all here. We have some incoming info. We're going to hang out for a little bit until we watch the dev stream. We could get some more information about particular release dates, pricing, maybe different editions. Who knows? There could be a ton of information on. So we will see. You never know. You never know. So, yeah. We need more non-straight roads. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that would be a great thing for the game because that's really the only complaint that I've ever heard about Anno 1800, which I do wish had some more DLCs, but yeah, that's something where I wish they would have went to China or Japan or India for one last thing and adding more of those cool scenarios, which I really liked. But anyway, Anno news came out during Ubisoft Forward of Anno 11.7. They told me about it a little bit in advance, and I was able to see the initial trailer. We'll take a look at that. If you missed it, we'll go over some of the new videos that they've dropped regarding Anno 11.7, although they haven't shown too much of the game so far, so we'll see. I think this is one of those things where if I didn't cover this stream, then they would have showed gameplay and I would have missed it. And if I do cover it, they might not show gameplay. But I got to anyway because it's Anno, and we certainly loved Anno 1800 here on the channel. In fact, if I could go back, every once in a while you guys ask me, hey, if you could go back in time and like replay a game and like wipe your memory of it, what would it be? I'd love to go back in time to like 2019 and play Anno 1800 way back when it was like first like a little beta and you could only get to like the artisans or something before the engineers and then discover the new world. And then that was a great time. And then there was like a period where the beta wasn't out, so I went back to play 1404, which is where today's music is from again. And then 1800 finally came out and everybody loved it. It was really cool. And all those DLCs are beefy. I think it's like 50 gigs worth of content from Anno. It's crazy. But we had a ton of fun playing Anno 1800 with all you guys in multiplayer. We did a series with She-Fox last spring, which we kind of didn't really fully complete, but I mean, Anno takes so much time that it's like you could never finish it. In fact, I could start a new series as of today until the release of 11.7, and still we'd end up in the same boat again. So yeah, there you go. So some news regarding this: it is not going to be on Steam, which is a concern for a lot of people because they did this last time, where right before the launch of Anno 1800, there was some pre-orders on Steam, and then they pulled it off Steam. So everybody who pre-ordered on Steam got it. But then it only was available on Ubisoft and only available on Epic. And the concern there for a lot of people is that there's always those third-party de novo / DRM programs that do either too much spying or just aren't reliable and shut you down and that kind of thing. I still have Anno 1800 on Ubisoft Connect, and I've worked with Ubisoft before to promote some of the DLCs, some sponsored things way back in the day for like the first, the one where you go to the Arctic and some other stuff like that after the game first launched. And so they always sent me keys for all the DLCs there, and I always enjoyed the game and the DLCs, and I assume that Anno 11.7 will be the same thing, but that does mention that the workshop support might not necessarily be there. So anyway, in just a few minutes, less than an hour, the devs will be having their thing here, the Pax Romana dev talk. We'll see. I don't want to miss anything big, especially for their first iteration into talking about all things info. But we'll watch some of these Twitter videos here and actual trailer for the game, which again there's no gameplay going to be shown in these trailers that we've seen so far, but you never know. We might get a sneak peek of something. Who knows? Who knows? I don't want to, expect it, but I don't also want to deny it because I want it to be a thing. So we shall see. So anyway, definitely make sure you follow Anno_EN or whatever your respective languages, or maybe all of them, because they could get. If you speak a couple languages, I'd say definitely follow that one and then the English one. But yeah, cool stuff coming out from them as of I think it was first announced at Ubisoft Forward, which was on the can't remember exactly when. June 10th. There it was, I think. And that's in German. Alright, let's see if we can go to their official. And there we go. Alright, cool. So I guess, yeah, we're going to be a governor now. Let's go and watch the original trailer for Pax Romana. And then we'll watch their new thing, which I haven't seen yet, the Scroll of Fame, which I hear is quite funny. So we'll see about it. Okay, let's jump into our official Anno stream. We're going to start by watching the live-action teaser, Governors Wanted Ubisoft Forward. This is how they announced it, which was kind of a weird way to do it, but, you know, 'tis what it tis.
By order of the Emperor, my fellow Romans, I bring forth tidings of hope across our glorious lands. For we stand on the threshold of a new age. Our streets shall be lined with abundance. Our fields shall yield bountiful harvests, and our coffers shall overflow with wealth. An era of prosperity dawns upon us, heralded by the arrival of a new governor.
You can take it from here.
So a couple of takeaways there at the bottom. Then you have, you know, that was the thing that immediately struck me, is that we don't see. Come back here. We don't see the Steam logo. We have the Ubisoft logo and the Ubisoft Store logo and Epic, but also consoles confirmed too. So we got Xbox and PS5. So not sure about crossplay, but man, I feel like that's going to be a beefy game to put on this. Also, no confirmation of Game Pass yet, but it does say play it day one with Ubisoft Plus. And hold on, let me just go ahead and say that again. Oh, right, my Steam Deck's broken. Ubisoft Plus, you know, rim shot. So anyway, so that's the initial trailer. Let's watch the new Pax Romana trailer for I guess this is called the Scroll of Fame. Let's see. It is what it is, yeah. If it's Epic Store, it'll be at least a year before they put it on Steam. Well, they didn't do that with 1800 though. I think it was multiple years before 1800 came out. Didn't it come out like at the beginning of 2023 on Steam? It was a long time. A long time. A lot of people are also speculating that for the longest time, Anno fans wanted Anno to go to Rome or to cover Rome, but thought that they didn't do it since there were quite a few Roman builders at the time, or at least you know, back in the day. Because I think Anno started in, what was it, like 1600s, then 1700s, then I don't know. The earliest Anno before this one was announced though was 1404, which was really good. Anno 1404 was a lot of fun. In fact, I'd even love to play that one again before Pax Romana comes out. So, yeah. I think there were a couple more for like Windows 95 and Windows 98. All right, let's watch the Pax Romana Scroll of Fame. Best one? 1404 is pretty good. I still love 1800 the best, though. And I haven't done any of the future ones, 2070 or 22.
My fellow Romans.
05, I think.
For years, your voices have echoed across the distant corners of the internet. Whispers of hope, united by one common desire. An Anno set in the Roman Empire. Today, we salute all of you who kept unwavering faith in that dream by honoring you in the Scroll of Fame.
Yeah, these are like Geico commercials, aren't they, a little bit? He's reading tweets, I think.
First, we have Rec 00, who proclaims, all about the Romans for me. Well, yes, it's all about glorious Pax Romana for us too, at Rec 00. I see our paths are aligned. Tom D., destroyer of Wibblies, writes, Rome or riot? Fire emoji. Yes, well, Tom D., we all love a good old-fashioned riot, but let's hope that you're happy and you leave our roads undestroyed. Mini Pieman mentions, Mediterranean Anno, please. We want them olives. Well, Mini Pieman, you're a Roman of taste. Henceforth, you shall be known as Governor of Olives.
Okay.
David 212 suggests.
Hold on. That does make me start thinking now. I haven't even put in any thought into the products that we'll be able to make in the game. But yes, we must be able to grow olives, olive oil, obviously wine. What are some other things that you would expect to produce in Rome? Maybe raising horses for cavalry? Yeah, olives 100%, wine 100%, fish, definitely seafood. Of course, well, then we have to invent pizza, so tomatoes. I'm kidding. The wine empire, yes. Yeah, we have to export pizzas. That'd be hilarious. Obviously, some bread, too. Some sort of making of, like, grains. All right, let's keep watching. I just want to know from chat, like, what do you think they... What would they make? You know, we're probably going to have, obviously, cotton, like some sort of a, like, fabric, like flax type thing.
Rome idea sounds good. Aqueducts, for example,
Yes.
might function like trains in that you need to deliver the water to the bathhouses and wells, etc.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Well, Davidney 212, that's a grand vision for a governor of progress. But what on Jupiter is a train?
Lecurl 1987 proclaims, give me Rome, you get Durham, and you get Durham too. Well, Lecurl 1987,
yeah, the aqueducts would be really cool.
Is a beloved governor. Oh, our cups runneth over with Durham.
If you go back, by the way, and look at the thumbnail for this stream, you will see a leaked screenshot. Well, leaked, who knows, in today's world, it could be all part of the plan, but there's 45-degree angle roads in Anno, apparently, and then also it does show what the game may look like and how farms may look like too. They might not be directly square anymore. We'll have to see exactly how that works. We'll have to see.
Leon 225 says,
check the
I
thumbnail.
would play the shit out of a Rome Anno. By Minerva. Leon 225, with language like that, I'll tell you what, you make a fine senator.
You know, actually, another thing to consider too. Here's my number one burning question about Anno 11.7. Let me know if you guys agree. Every couple hours when you're playing Anno 1800, that dude interrupts you and is like, "You've been playing for 1400 hours. Perhaps it's time to leave," or it tells you to go on a walk, or how about a cup of coffee, that kind of thing. I want to know how we're interrupted like every hour or couple hours to like leave.
Message from guy who kind of laughs. Yeah, well, I think that about covers it all. Guy who kind of knows too much.
Hold on, let's read his he didn't read his thing. Hold on, I want to hear it.
A message from guy who kind of laughs.
This won't be they skipped it because it was a long post. This won't be a long post. I want Rome to make a case for Anno 11.7 Rome. 11.7 AD was the height of the Roman Empire. Oh. 11.7 was essentially right in the middle of the Pax Romana, a century or so of relative peace, therefore a good place to set an Anno game focused on trade and city building. They've done a future Annos, but never an Anno title for historical time during the first foundations of modern-ish civilization. Ships could still be a big deal, but they could add traders over land and mix it up that way. That would be badass to see more stuff via land as well. I think about Rome a lot and miss the Caesar games. Yeah, this would help scratch that itch for me. That's all I've got That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hoping for, friends. Dude, he had the most important comment so far. Everybody else was just memeing. And then this was the one they chose not to read. What the hell? Willie with the 10 bomb for chat, dude. Thank you very much for a big O support. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. That guy had a long Reddit post about like a year or two ago. Oh, I bet. There's always, well, here's the thing about the Anno games is that you just got to, make a year add up to 9 and then pick a very well-known civilization or a time of civilizations, which is any time in history, really. So anything kind of goes, They could have also did like, Anno 9, but 100 years earlier wouldn't have been that big of a deal. That's not that long of time.
Yeah, well, I think that
Hydation reminders every 90 minutes, yeah.
that covers it all. Guy who kind of knows too much. Koji Mackenzie says, "Good Lord, a Roman time Anno would bankrupt me. That would be amazing." Well, bankruptcy isn't the best trait for a governor,
5 years
Koji
ago.
Mackenzie, but we welcome all styles of leadership here.
That was before like
But
1800 came
Degree's
out.
Best date for it would be Anno 117, the territorial zenith of the Roman Empire.
Well, Martineb, the accuracy of your prediction outshines the finest archers in the Legion. Take a bow. Or should that be bow?
Stephen 694-55553 demands Anno Roma, Anno Roma, Anno Roma. Well, Stephen 694-55553, you orate with such passion. The future of my profession is in good hands. For one day, you will surely make a fine town crier. Nemo the elf proposes, I've always considered an Anno 207 set in the heyday of the Roman Empire to be an idea so perfect that I'm surprised no one's attempted it yet. Well, Nemo the elf, perhaps it's an idea that's so perfect that only we could have attempted it. Oh, we have. And we did. Crinso inquires, when Anno Rome? Crinso, a man of few words. Allow me to reciprocate. Anno Rome. Soon. Zulak
I saw
adds,
that coming.
Rome would be super sick as well. Well, your excitement is infectious, Zulak, and I'm positively afflicted by your enthusiasm. Fan suggests, literally call it Anno Rome 2. I like the numbers, but they're getting a little confusing for new players. Hello, fam. What's so confusing about CXVII? A custodian Nelfi adds, a game set in the Roman era would be a day one buy without hesitation. Well,
Hold on. Day one buy? No. You're supposed to pre-order right now. You got to pre-order. What do you mean day one buy? Look, without seeing any sort of gameplay or really official images, you should have already pre-purchased several copies for you and loved ones.
Custodian Nelfi, see you on day one, and don't forget to add to your wish list. JMXD says, really hope the next Anno is somewhere around Roman times. Well, JMXD, hope is the foundation upon which empires are built. So, all you have to do now is start building. Potato Chopsticks 101 opines, Greco-Roman Anno. I'm all for triremes, quadriremes, aqueducts, bread and circuses, and cothons. Well, Potato Chopsticks 101. Let's not forget bathhouses, temples, sawmills, workshops, theaters, and my personal favorite, tailors.
Tailors confirmed, guys. We'll be able to make clothes. Confirmed.
Thinks a Roman Anno that allows you to expand in Egypt, in the north of Europe, and also in the west part of Asia would be amazing. Well, Snoo 33490. That's a daunting task for the most ambitious of governors. But as they say, Rome wasn't built in a day.
True. Big true. Dyes. Yeah, I think dyes would be another important product they would make. We were trying to think of other things that we'll be able to produce in Anno 11.7. So, and I think farming is probably going to be one of probably the biggest industries in the game. Like, I would love to see farming, like anything to do with food or grown, cash crops, that kind of thing would be very interesting. So it'd be cool to see how many different dyes we can make out of that, and or dyes that are made out of other things that aren't like, gathered from the soil, other than like minerals. You know what I mean? Not grown things that would be finite rather than infinite. Copper, masonry, yeah, exactly. Yeah, stone mining is going to be incredibly important in this game. And one of the coolest things would be, building those theaters that he mentioned. I hope are like big construction projects. I hope there's more of like the World's Fair, like what we got in 1800, where it's like, oh, you're going to build the Colosseum. It's just going to take 200 years. You just got to mine stone for 200 years and you'll be fine. But there's probably got to be a lot of other things for that. So like you guys mentioned, dye making then to dye all the banners that might be around there. Maybe gold, lots and lots of wood, lots and lots of stone, Poglat emo gone. Yes, we're changing that from birthday to something else. Don't worry. Look, we got to get more members if we're going to unlock more emotes. But thankfully, Willie dropped a 10 bomb. So thanks again, Willie, for dropping 10 gifted memberships.
Medoris hopes an Anno in the ancient Rome or some culture of that time is bound to come eventually. Well, Medoris, all roads do eventually lead to Rome.
Or McDonald's.
The Emperor thanks you for your patience. Dr. Supergood has this to say. It does not even need to focus on Rome, but rather the trade throughout the Mediterranean and beyond as a whole. Dr. Supergood, Cur non utrumque. X-Force 11 observes,
why not both?
I have the feeling that this idea comes up every week, at least once here. Lol. Vox Populi X-Force 11.
Lol.
The people have spoken. Pillow Smeller 18 wonders, I hope the tech would go from bad roads to the discovery of Roman paved roads,
Ooh.
thus improving production through faster delivery.
Now, that'd be interesting as hell, is that instead of just already knowing that those roads exist, that'd be interesting if you had to do something to experiment with what materials would be, how to build roads. Like if you had to build some sort of a engineering guild to do that. And also roads. But yeah, that would be very interesting because, you'd go from, the dirt roads to then the paved roads, which require gravel and stone and maybe other techniques too for different types of roads. And of course, what would be also very interesting here would be something to do with like building irrigation canals and some things like we got from Mbessa from the 1800 DLC. Johnny with the 10 bomb as well. Johnny, thank you very much for gifting 10 memberships. YouTube chat, ! Gift. If you guys would like a YouTube membership for free, courtesy of our chat, type ! Gift. Click the link that pops up. And then you can activate that for all of YouTube. So if you're ever watching a live stream and someone drops a gift bomb, you could be awarded one of those and then get tons of emotes for free. So get it going. Enjoy those emotes.
Well, Pillow Smeller 18. As someone who travels a lot on foot, I completely agree that Roman roads do make it easier on the heels.
Roads?
Gourmain says, I love the idea of a Greek or Roman style. Maybe a hint of fantasy, like you need to look after the gods, or you have negative problems happen.
Okay, that would be interesting. That goes down the Sierra route, and that's also like El Dorado, which we played recently too. So I don't know if they would put that in. Having to appease the gods, otherwise we would get a disaster. I mean, 1800, what disasters do we have in Anno 1800? Factory can explode, people can riot, there's disease, your occasional fire, and then of course the enemies. To make a Roman city builder and not include the gods would be insane. So there does need to be some sort of a focus on Roman gods. But I don't know, having to like do tribute and things like that that's going to be interesting. It would have to do something along with like, You know how like in 1800 when you would get like the harvest festivals and the beer festivals and such, and there'd be a bonus for the different classes. That would have to be how that ties in to that somehow. You'd build a temple, pray to a particular god or whatever, or multiple, and then you get a bonus for that area. We need natural disasters, but no goofs and powers and that crap. Yeah, magic, you mean, yeah. Yeah, the gods will have to be included. I think they would have to produce some sort of bonus because Anno has to have some sort of a external bonus system. And I'm also wondering how Anno would deal with, and speaking of bonuses, how you would plug particular characters into buildings. You know, you'd plug somebody into the city hall, you'd plug somebody into the harbor master office, or you'd put them onto the boats. So you'd have the naval personnel in 1800, and then you'd have the city personnel, like the constable or something like that, to lower crime. So what kind of characters would they create, and how could they be used? Like, for example, that the trade union office, then you'd put that near the farms, and then you could get a bonus on the whatever grain production. So I wonder exactly how they would do that. That'd be a very interesting thing to like consider.
Well, you wouldn't want to get on their wrong side, Gormain. Trust me. Jazz the Taz proclaims, a Roman Empire-themed Anno. Hear, hear.
Hear, hear.
Yes, Jazz the Taz, let your voice ring out to the ends of the Empire. Hear, hear indeed. Then we have Radla Auga, who prophesizes, I dreamed of Anno 9 again today. When will this dream finally become reality? Well, don't let your dreams just be dreams, Radla Auga. Go and build them. Speaking of 9, there are so many of you obsessed with the number 9. I haven't the faintest idea why. And then there's you.
Hold on, let me go back. Oh boy.
Build them. Speaking of 9. Then we have Radla Auga, who prophesies.
Okay. Yeah, hold on. I noticed that the link for the gift thing on YouTube is broken. That is so strange that that has changed. Yeah, that's weird. We'll have to get that updated. But there is a link for that. I'll have to get that link again. If anybody has that gift sub link that'll turn that on, let me know, and then we'll plug that in. That Streamlabs is so broken all the time. I have no idea even what that link is. I didn't change that. Thanks for calling it out, chat.
Sizes. I dreamed of Anno 9 again today. When will this dream finally become reality? Well, don't let your dreams just be dreams, Radla Auga. Go and build them. Speaking of 9, there are so many of you obsessed with the number 9. I haven't the faintest idea why.
Oh, I wanted to read all the names. Anno 9, can't wait for Anno 9 AD, Anno 9 BC. Now that would be something. Anno 9, let's go Mediterranean islands and supply chains galore. Anno 9, Rome and Empire stuff. Anno IX, I want it. Maybe Anno 9, Rome would be pretty cool. Anno 9 AD, too bad it wouldn't actually be the 9th Anno game. ...
With the number 9. I haven't the faintest idea why. And then there's you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you.
Oh, hold on, I want to read all these now.
And you, and you, and you, and you.
I would love to have Anno in the past, like Anno 9. It's more Anno than if it's in the future. Oh, okay. Yeah. Historically, yeah, that does make sense. I feel like the past is always a good time for Anno. I think Anno number 9 should just be Anno 9. I think Anno 8 should be in the distant future, like 3006 or something. Don't miss the opportunity to use the number 9 in that blue title, in the title Blue Byte. No, I want an Anno 9. That's it. Finally, an ancient Anno. I've been waiting for that for 15 years now. With the 9th title coming up in the next decade, maybe I'll finally get lucky. Some of these comments were 2-3 years ago. Can't read that one. Whatever the next one will be, I'm betting the one after that will be Anno 9. Ninth game in the main series, set in 9 AD. Perfect. Hire me, Blue Byte.
You and
Dude's a game dev. Obligatory Anno 9 mention as the ninth Anno game. Two factions like it was in 2070, Roman and Greeks. Egypt as the secondary population. It is entirely possible that they could do a Greek DLC or something like that.
you
What is this video you're just joining? So in just a little bit, Anno is going to have a live stream for Anno 11.7, and the other day they dropped this video called Anno 11.7 Pax Romana, the Scroll of Fame. Basically, this is the guy from the teaser trailer reading everybody's like Reddit and Twitter posts over the last couple of years. Looks like it's mostly Reddit, but just talking about the game. And they did mention some things about one of the most important ones they didn't even read out loud, which kind of talked about how the game may be played a little bit with aqueducts and things like that. But it has us thinking, like, what things do you guys want to make in Anno 11.7? Like, dyes, what types of food, how would fishing work? Like, it wouldn't just be fish. Maybe there's a lot of other things that you can go and gather from lakes and rivers and obviously the Mediterranean. And then how things may work for transportation via ship. Like, it's going to be a little bit more than just like warships. Maybe we'll get troop transports, maybe different types of, maybe fishing will be more interesting where we've got to build boats to go fishing, you know, like not just for free. Have to actually build like every small little ship, which would be cool. How would the Roman roads work, starting with dirt roads, then working up to, you know, very long-lasting, durable roads and bridges?
and you
Oh, there's way too many here, and a lot of them are German. Classical Greek, Roman, Egypt, others around 9 AD, lots of worlds and lots of monuments. I agree. Oh, I hope that when we build decorations and stuff, some of them also cost a little bit of materials, but also give big return. I would love Anno 9 with Roman focus. I'm all for it. While 1117 was the height of the Roman Empire, Anno 9 sounds like as a better title. Anno 9, more German. Anno, please. Roman Empire win. I really want a classical age Anno 18 or Anno 9. Although if they make one more game and then make Anno 9 could both match the naming. Oh my! Okay, I can't. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
well,
Wait, what the hell? Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Hold on. Well, this completely breaks my immersion. I thought he was holding a scroll. Why the hell is he holding a CVS receipt? Did he just buy a pack of gum from like a Walgreens or a CVS? Look at this. Why the Romanesque scroll?
well, that's all the time we have today. For duty calls this town crier elsewhere. The Emperor thanks you for your correspondence, and do let us know if we missed yours in the comments below. It does take such a long time for the mail to reach us. We salute all you future governors, and we can't wait to see how you build your legacy in Anno 117 Pax Romana. Until then, you can take it from here.
Oh, that's going to be their tagline. You can take it from here. They're going to keep hounding on that. By the way, is this guy famous? Some people were saying this dude is the town crier from HBO's Rome. Is anybody recognize this guy? Have you seen him before? I mean, it would be appropriate if they got him from the Rome series to just read off all these tweets. Okay, so in about 20 minutes, the official Anno 11.7 Pax Romana dev talk is going to begin. I'm not sure what we'll be able to see, but there's already been some screenshots confirming 45-degree roads, possible. Like, the possibility is confirmed, which we already knew. But yeah, so no more 90-degree. You might be able to make 45-degree roads, to which people will still complain, but, you know, it is what it is. And showing off some of how the farms will look, docks, other buildings, things like that. All this information and more can probably be found on their Twitter. They have some other videos here, so let's go ahead and watch some of these together. They're just a few seconds of how they made the initial trailer that we saw. But definitely highly recommending that if you want to follow the development of Anno, make sure you follow them on Twitter, because they got some good stuff going information-wise. So let's check out, is there an official video on this?
Finally, let's embark on this exciting journey together. Finally, an Anno inspired by the Roman Empire. Let's embark on this exciting...
Wait, that's got to be a making of video. And they didn't link it. That looks like an official... Wait, oh, they must have a making of video for that trailer. I think that was actually the one right here with the ladies working on his toga, or whatever you call it. Apparently there's Easter eggs in that too. So the store page for Ubisoft is already up for Pax Romana. There's two different store pages where it kind of shares a little bit of information. Here's one of them on just Ubisoft, clicking on the link that pops up there, and then there's one on the Ubisoft store. It's pretty much the same information, but they look a little different. But you can see some images of the game, well, the concept art. So showing off some pretty cool stuff. Is that lavender? Oh, and then possible places we can go. So maybe we could, it's possible that we could build pretty much everywhere. At least in the Mediterranean. And a few more hints at what we could be doing. We have a legion down here. It's not guaranteed that like we're going to get these things, but I mean, it would be insane if we didn't get to build the Colosseum. It'd be insane if we didn't get to build other types of large structures. There's the lavender again. Don't forget the Anno Union webpage. Let's see. I think their page had the big scroll of fame on it. Let's check that. And then scroll of fame. Oh, this is basically everything that guy had read off. What? Purchase Anno on Steam? That's got to be 1800. Yeah, they ain't gonna be putting the new one on here. Hell no. Unlikely. We'll see though. We'll see. Okay, where was I before? Let me check the Anno Union, like Anno making of trailer. Let me see. See if we can find something fun. I don't see that making of trailer. Does anyone have know where we can find this with Manu?
Exciting journey together. Finally, an Anno inspired by the Roman Empire.
I'm assuming he and everybody else are out filming this thing. Like you can kind of see the production crew down here. And these are probably the people who are helping. They literally went out to a swamp to film it. Filming on location. Very nice. Anyway, the store page here, let's break that down a little bit. Anno 117 Pax Romana. In the latest installment of the award-winning Anno strategy franchise, it's your destiny to shape the Roman Empire in the year 1107. As governor, you'll encourage economic growth or expand the rule through dominance. That mean military dominance, obviously. Lead with a rebellion or unite a diverse culture. The cost of peace is yours to decide. Game overview. Become a Roman governor. You are a Roman governor of the year 1107 AD. Follow the path laid before you or boldly question the status quo of the empire. Embark on a challenging narrative journey to build your cities where alternative paths beckon. Oh, that's interesting. So perhaps there's different factions that you could choose or mindsets that then lead down to different maybe different types of building unlocks. Maybe different buildings will become available based on how you choose to rule. Which means that it's like factions within the faction. So you could play as the economic power, someone else could play as the military power, but you're teamed up, so you help to fuel the war effort kind of thing with them. Interesting. Yeah, somebody mentioned that could be like Anno 2070. True. Did I play Caesar 3? I definitely played the Caesar games, but I don't remember if I played 3. But I've definitely played a lot of those Sierra City builders for sure. Discover Rome's uncharted provinces. Journey through the little-known territories of the Roman Empire. Uncover the allure of Latium and Albion, the twin provinces under your stewardship as governor. Oh, okay. So, all right. So, wait a minute. Is that going to be our two factions then? Or is that going to be where we... will that work like the expeditions? That would be interesting because, like, honestly, going across the Mediterranean could be, you know, back in that time, that distance was still very great. So to go across to discover, you know, new lands, although hundreds of years old already by then, there could be expeditions to go to those places, discover new colonies in there. So that could be where our expeditions take place. Seize the opportunity to expand your influence and harness the unique advantages and challenges of each province represents. Yeah, that'll kind of be like the new and the old world a little bit. Yeah, maybe. Build, trade, expand. Your choices as governor matter to your citizens. Will you encourage economic growth or expand your rule through dominance, lead a rebellion, or unite a diverse culture? Choose wisely. Decisions will guide them through the era of Pax Romana. So no mention of like military. Doesn't say build a legion or invade or conquer. They're just using the vague words of rule through dominance. Like, what does that mean? Just trying to like cut through the you know, the corpo talk and try to see what we're actually looking at here. But you know, hopefully I'm going to be delighted by new images and updates. Okay, this is, I think, somewhat the same information, but just different pictures in the background, which are pretty. So they mentioned alternative paths. They mentioned the two little-known territories of the Roman Empire. And they're showing what I could imagine is this is actually like a very inaccurate map on purpose. So we've got what seems to be the British Isles, and then Greece and Italy, aka Rome. Land combat? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, you think it's the paradox symbol? Well, this is a Ubisoft game, but I got you. It does look like that, yeah. This concept art is really cool. This is probably my favorite image here, to see the ship arriving with troops being, you know, basically offloaded and marching. We got marshlands here too, so this could be, and I see mountains as well. Oh, Stonehenge. All right. Yep. So there's your two areas you can build in. This is the first time I've heard of these though, but they're showing where Rome is, where one of those colonies are. I don't know where the other one is though. I see ships and stuff going through too. Ships sailing towards Egypt. Oh yeah, down here. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, as they mentioned, these are little known territories, so that's going to be a big important thing here. Okay, we're about 9 minutes away from the official event, which is taking place in just a couple minutes. Volcanoes Pompeii? Honestly, I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know about the Roman. You know, I played a lot of Roman games, but you know, I've probably learned more about ancient history through gaming than I have through actual school, which is kind of cool, because things that pique my interest in a game that I can go and look up and learn more about, you know, like a lot of things from God of War for Norse mythology, There were other games before that and other games since, but it's cool to be like, well, who the hell's this god? Who is Baldur? Why is he important? That kind of thing. And there's so many other great gods out there too to cover. Like I'm starting to see a lot more games cover Slavic mythology and things like Baba Yaga and other gods and demons and things from there. There's quite a few. The Romans and the Greeks, those are probably, and the Egyptians are probably like the three that I know the most, and I think they're most common. Then of course you got Mayan and Aztec and the Japanese as well. I think Japan is probably a little more known than those, but a lot of people are starting to, I don't know, there's areas like that are ripe for storytelling, so it'd be interesting to know. Okay, so they're already live. They're starting in about 8 minutes. We're going to see what they're up to, what they're going to talk about. This could be, just a, hey guys, we're making Anno, okay, bye. And there's no information here, but if I don't cover it, then, if we don't know, then we don't know, that kind of thing. Oh, yes, Pompeii I know about. I didn't know if Pompeii was the mountain in the background, though, that they showed in that other image. But I do know the story of Pompeii. I mean, I honestly don't know who controlled what when. I don't know the significance of this time. I want to play this game, though, and learn a lot about 11.7 through playing this game, and then learn more about it myself, But there's so much ancient history to study and learn about. It's fascinating. So anybody who really loves ancient Rome is going to be delighted by this one. I think the most we got from Rome over the last few years was, we usually get a bunch of Total War games and like turn-based tactical strategy games that like let you command legions, but you never really get to do too much building. And if you do, it's like click on a city, tell them to build a farm, like civilization level. So these are Total War Civ level, but we didn't get to really actually build cities like Anno. There are a few others coming out too, by the way. If you like ancient Rome, there is another game coming out, and if there's others, let me know too. There's a Citadellum coming out, which is from the people who made Citadellum. So Citadellum, and it also has a demo too. So if you want to get into some Roman city building with aqueducts right now, Citadellum has a demo, and this is from the folks who made one military camp. So give this one a try. It looks pretty beautiful, actually. I've played this a little bit and want to play it more, but it looks like they've got like actual like chariot races going on, some theaters. Looks like you could build some big plazas. There's the ability to grow a lot of food and things like that. There's also a Greek city builder too called, and it kind of, you kind of make some of the same things. It's Greek, but I mean a lot of the things are the same. Called what is it? Builders of Greece. And I thought there was Builders of Rome coming too, but they're also making an Egypt game, although none of these are really coming out. Wow, and Builders of El Dorado? What the hell? Oh, yeah. But Builders of Greece is kind of like, these will kind of put you in the Anno mood, I think, as to like what they might possibly have you do. Again, this is Greek, not Roman, but still, a lot of the things are the same. Because, I mean, it was just basically sticks and stones back then still a lot of times. But yeah, this got me excited being like, when I was playing these games, I was like, man, it'd be cool to get a Roman Anno, but they'll never do it. They'll never do it. And here we are. Here we are. But that looks pretty. Game's really neat with the farming too and winemaking. And also worrying about the different classes. I wonder what other classes we'll get in Anno as well. I mean, we, with Pax Romana, we have so many different things they could do. They have so much material here to work with that they're just going to be cutting. It's crazy. Like there's so much that they could put in the game for Rome already. What are they going to cut because there's just simply too much for a game? And what are they going to compartmentalize for like DLCs? Because companies, they're in the business of making money. And so what kinds of DLCs could we see? With 1800, we got to go to, the Arctic, we got to go to Africa, we got to do a lot of like mechanical farming, a lot of different New World stuff, including the haciendas and other ways to play in the New World. So I wonder, we're probably going to get, like a couple of, we got to get a couple of, literally elevator music, wow. Anyway, we got to get a couple new locations in this game. Yeah, they love to release Anno DLC. I was looking at the Anno DLC too, by the way. 1800 got an astronomical amount of DLCs. In fact, if we look at... oh, this is a jazz version of the Anno music. That's cool. All right, if we look at Wikipedia for Anno, it all started in 1998 and 1602. Then in 2002, we got 1503. Then we eventually got 1701. And then, like most people, I think, me and many other people started at 1404 when that one dropped. 1701 was really good too, but for whatever reason, me and most people I talked to got in at 1404. I still need to play 2070, though. I think I own 2070 and 2205, and I'd love to play those for the first time. But Anno 1800, look at the amount of DLCs this one got. Holy crap. Like, 1602 got an expansion. New Islands, New Adventures. Treasures, Monsters, and Pirates for 1503. Sunken Dragon for 1701. Venice for 1404. Which is pretty close, right? Deep Ocean for 2070. 2205 with 3 of them. Tundra, Orbit, and Frontiers. But my god, the 1800, there was so much territory there. Yeah, I have 2070 and 2205, I think, but those aren't on the channel. But 1404 is, and that was the first one I played. I love 1404. But yeah, so we got the first one, Sunken Treasures, then the Botanica DLC, then the Passage. That's the one where you go up to the Arctic. Sea to Power, Bright Harvest, Land of Lions. That's where you go to Africa. Then Docklands. That's a great one. Tourist Season, High Life. These two kind of to me were kind of the same, but definitely different, but cool in their own ways. And then Seeds of Change, I think that was the Hacienda one. Empire of the Skies. I couldn't keep up with these anymore after that. Actually, this was the Hacienda one here. Seeds of Change was kind of different. And then Empire of the Skies was... That one was kooky, the whole airship thing. But I'm glad that they did that. I thought that was kind of neat to put in some sort of a little bit of a mix-up. But, yeah. What's up, Grim Reaper? All right. Let's go ahead and watch this stream. Starting in about 1 minute. Don't know what to expect. Don't know what it is. But if you want to follow more of Anno, I'm going to probably accidentally say 1800 a few times. But 11.7. If you like Rome, Roman city builders, or if you like ancient history, or just Anno in general, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow. Turn on that notification bell. And let's watch this stream for Anno 11.7. Pax Romana. Don't know what they're going to show. I have a feeling if I don't cover these, that's when they're going to show like 45 minutes of solid gameplay. They probably won't because I'm covering it, but you know, who knows? I like how the time has changed to a yellow now, letting you know it is time. Hypes in the chat. Bum, bum, bum. All right, one's in the chat if you're hyped. One's in the chat if your mind is ready. One's in the chat if your body's ready. Toss a 1 to your chatty chatter. We're down to 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1's in the chat. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Do we have a new trailer? Let's see.
By order of the Emperor, my fellow Romans, I bring forth tidings of hope across our glorious lands. For we stand on the threshold of a new age. Our streets shall be lined with abundance. Our fields shall yield bountiful harvests, and our coffers shall overflow with wealth. An era of prosperity dawns upon us, heralded by the arrival of a new governor.
You can take it from here.
That's me. He's talking to me and only me. Now remember, this is available next year, so we won't be getting a release date.
Hello, everyone, and very welcome
next year.
to the very first
Woo!
17 Pax Romana live stream.
Hell yeah.
Today, again, from our office here in Ubisoft Mainz. Today, I'll do a quick intro in a second. Today, we'll be talking about, we give you a quick overview of what Anno 117 is. We give you a bit of the story, the background, the setting. We'll talk about the trailer. You've just seen it, our teaser trailer that we showed at Ubisoft Forward last week. We have actually behind-the-scenes footage, and we have Manu and Hey both here that were there when the trailer was shot, and they can talk about the experience, the Ox, and then we can give you a quick overview what you can expect in the coming months from us in terms of information.
Oh, this is good.
And
All right,
insights.
this is good.
Right, so you have seen me before. I assume I'm Oliver. I'm the community developer on Anno. And with me, I have two guests, recurring guests and the new guests. So we have Hey, our brand director. We have
Hey.
Matt, senior
Senior writer.
senior writer. Sorry. And we have Manu, our creative director, on the far right here. All right, so this is the quick overview. I've seen you've been already super excited and super busy in chat. It's lovely to see you all here. Lots of familiar faces and lots of also new faces or names from what I can see. So and the stream is gonna be in English. Just for you can keep posting it in German in chat, and if there are some questions that we'll have, I'll translate them and forward them to the team. But generally speaking, we'll first go through our agenda, basically, and then we'll have a dedicated Q&A block at the end where we then specifically look at chat and you can post questions and we'll try to answer at least the question that we can answer or want to answer for now. So I stopped talking and hand the mic to Hey. So if you want to introduce yourself again to our players.
Yeah, I was at Ubisoft Forward with Manu, so I'm Hey, I'm the brand director, and really I'm just responsible for looking after the Anno brand. If you don't like any of the marketing, you can blame me.
I'm Matt Cook, so I'm a senior game writer. So my job is to bring the story into the game, and we do that in lots of exciting ways. That's my job.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Hello, I'm Manuel Reine. I'm creative director. Yeah, and it's my role to set the vision for the product and also try to end up at this vision with the team. And nice to talk to you again.
We had you here, Manu and Hey, just a few weeks ago in the other live stream where you were not allowed to talk about the game yet, which was very tricky because I asked you both like, okay, so what are you doing as a creator? What are you doing as a brand director? And I'm like, so you can finally talk about the game now. Obviously, Matt, you've also been involved in the concept phase for the game like quite a while ago already. So you were not allowed to talk about it either. So it's just a nice feeling for the three of you just to finally be like, I can talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, especially, with your family and everybody is interested, as well as all the players, of course. It's a wonderful thing for the team, I think, to share this news.
It was super cool. Also, when we were on stage, I always thought also about the team. It's such a magic moment when you start the communication with the people, with the fans out there, and get some first initial reactions. I think this really makes it real. No?
Yeah, I mean, and I think seeing the studio's reaction, obviously Manu and I were not here with the dev studio. You guys did a watch party. We got off stage and we were like, wow, we're really jealous. Like we missed being with y'all and sharing in that magical moment together. So it was exciting to be there together. I waved to Manu across the stage. But we, it's always super magical to reveal a game. It's my first game revealed.
Yeah, you haven't been working in games before, so this is
I'm new to gaming, so this is my first game reveal.
A brand director who's new to gaming.
Yeah, and we sent you the reaction video from the studio right after, like we should record it. I think we also posted on our social channels. And so
what's up, Salem? Welcome to the chat, man.
Excitement when we were on at Forward, and then you two went on
stage. Oh,
stage
she did use the words for the product.
Still feel the excitement from the team, even if you're
their internal talks are not Anno, but
away
the product.
Just a few.
Gross.
It made me cry.
Yes.
yeah, it's very emotional. Yeah.
Right. So I think let's start with obviously we've just to recap. Manu, I think this is your thing. Can you give us a quick pitch on
Sure.
what is Anno 117?
Yeah,
Pax
what
Romana,
is this
when-
new
what
Anno?
can-
Tell us.
What will people do? What is this world? And then we had over
Tell
to
us
Matt, who
about-
can then give us the
the synopsis of
part
the product
of
for
the world, of the
consumption.
setting.
So let's do this. Can you throw up one of the concept arts that we prepared?
Art. That's probably going to be what we've
So
seen.
wonderful. So when we talk about
Oh,
the
here we
next
go, here we
Anno,
go, here we
talk
go, here we
about
go.
the year 117. It's the time of the Pax Romana. It's really peak Rome. The people from 3 continents live together, and
3 continents.
yes, and you are a freshly appointed governor, and you were tasked by the emperor to set out and bring the glory of the empire to the provinces of the empire. And in this role as a new governor, you will be able to settle and explore 2 different provinces. One is
Yep.
Albion, what you see here. It's the alien place within the empire, a place no civilized Roman wants to be. And as you see, it was also inspired by the Celtic world. And we are super excited to bring this
Oh, that's
to a
pretty.
game set in the Roman era. And as another contrast that we want to add, it's the province of Latium, which is very close to the hungry heart of the empire. This is really should deliver the full fantasy that
That's
we
cool
all
as
have
hell.
when you think about the game set in this era. And yeah, we are super excited to deliver this to you.
I can't
And
wait
for
to
the first
consume
time
this
in Anno,
product for
you will
its
also be
life
able
cycle.
to choose your starting province, which is a
Ooh.
nice first choice that we want to bring to our fans.
Can probably maybe talk about this in a bit, because I've seen discussions about that whole starting.
Yeah.
We
province
get to
thing.
choose.
Matt, so we have the gameplay side, like what can players expect from the game. What is this Pax Romana? What is this year 117 that we're setting the game in roughly? What is the inspiration for our setting?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of players who've seen the footage already, they already noticed that this is the peak of the Roman Empire in terms of the territory, and it's really cool to see that people popping up and saying, "Oh, Trajan, an era of big buildings and stuff," and of course that's what Anno's all about. So, I mean, I think it's a perfect setting in that regard. And also quite an unfamiliar setting in some ways. So it gives an opportunity to show a different side of the Roman Empire in a way that maybe other games haven't been able to do. So from the beginning, we've been really passionate about that part, especially. Yeah.
I think it's also very important because it's the time after the big conquests. So where Rome really was a melting pot of cultures. I think that's really a super fascinating side that we also, once we started to do some research and digging into to a lot of books, movies, scripts, podcasts, and so on. I think a very interesting new angle on the Roman Empire also was revealed for us, which was super nice.
Yeah, I think the thing with the provinces that you mentioned already that's really cool is that contrast that you have between a very civilized world, which is the Roman world, and this very weird alien world. I mean, it's obviously people ask why pick the Albion province. So I think that's a really interesting thing because it is to the Romans the most wild and uncivilized place in this time, and I think that's just the contrast we wanted to explore there.
So, but you mentioned, for example, Trajan, but the players won't, as in Anno tradition, basically, we won't have like historical figures that are appearing in the game. It's always that you've probably seen it with the map that showed you during Manu's segment earlier. It's not a real map of Europe, and the same is true for the rest of the game, right? It's like it's heavily inspired, obviously, but you're not suddenly meeting Trajan in the game or Hadrian or these kind of things.
Yeah, I mean,
Hadrian.
I introduced
built
myself as a
that
game
wall.
writer, and of course, writers create fiction, and the game Anno has always been a fiction. So it's based on history. We're inspired by history. We love to show history and feel.
Yeah,
the
it is
kind of
cool that
emotions
they
you feel when you're
base it
playing.
on history. It gives you a little
creating
wiggle
history
room.
and things like that. But
Marty, thank you very
what's
much
really
for the
important
Raptor
for
Plus
us is that
membership,
the game
dude.
is fun, and that comes first. And so in everything we do, we're thinking about how to synthesize history and gameplay in a way that's kind of never not serving the game. It's cherry picking, but we also show off some really great and beautiful moments from real history as well. And yeah, as you say, no real place names, no real characters, but every character that will be in the game will be a kind of inspired by lots of different sources that you will recognize for sure.
I think also one of the goals that we have is if you play an Anno game, you should always also learn something about how it could have been and so on. And so to take really something also into your nowadays lives, or our nowadays lives. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think from a brand perspective, those two things are really important for us, right? We want the game to feel emotionally connective to the players, and we want the brand to also have this sense of reality as well.
The brand needs to
Everything
connect
from
with the
trailer
pours.
I mean, the angles
They
of
must
the orb, man,
pre-purchase
Matt
and
is probably
maximize
sick of it,
potential
but
for the
we went
shareholder.
through all the details in the trailer, so it felt like history that feels real. It doesn't have to be historically accurate, but it needs to feel real. So all these details that you guys consider in the game was also considered in the marketing. Yeah.
I told you I got distracted from chat. They were super excited about the artworks. Already, like they asking about it having as a wallpaper. So I think we can probably follow that request sometime in the future. So we have the two regions. They're obviously different. You've seen on the artworks that the vibe is quite a different one. If you're like also. Simply because you're from the UK. I've spent some time in the UK. The feeling is different than if you're in Italy, right?
Absolutely, certainly is. It's a lot wetter, just wetter.
Yeah, this is obviously also a reflection of like the mood is a different one. Also, if you're in that region, and as you said, as you're a governor, so that region is also new for you as a governor, because it feels alien, as you said.
What are the
So
two
really
other
something
regions?
we
I
will
missed
convey
it.
in the game,
Albion and
hopefully in a really good
Latium,
execution. So
I think.
When we talk about Albion, when I describe it with one word, for me it's mystic somehow. Yeah, so it's and that's really something.
The fact
we
that they've
want to
decided to do
embrace,
like two
while
different regions like this has
is
really got me
warm,
excited.
it's welcoming. It's the tradition that we want to feature here, and I think we are super excited about this, and we hopefully can spread this excitement also through to you.
I think that worked, because if you look at the comments that you all posted after the reveal, under the trailer on YouTube, on the Anno Union, across our social channels and Discord, etc., there was a lot of excitement. So it was a very nice feeling for us, I think, to then not just have
Albion
it finally
is,
out there and be finally able to talk about it,
like Britain,
but also see that that excitement is shared by you. And because of this, and because we've seen so many comments about asking about the Roman Anno in the past, we've actually done the Scroll of Fame that we launched yesterday. So could we maybe play this Scroll of Fame intro video real quick?
My fellow Romans,
Holy crap!
for years your voices have echoed across the distant corners of the internet.
Even they turned it down.
Whispers
Now I
of
gotta
hope,
turn it up.
united by one common desire. An Anno set in the Roman Empire. Today, we salute all of you who
Yeah,
kept
they turned it down.
unwavering faith in that dream by honoring you in the Scroll of Fame.
Right, and as I've seen just in chat, some of you that are featured in the Scroll of Fame that you can find both on the Anno Union as well as a trailer, as a full trailer on the Ubisoft YouTube channel. Some of you are in chat that were featured in the Scroll, and we're very happy that this was so well received, and we made your day yesterday or today, depending on when you read it, a little bit brighter with that comment. It was very hard for us to not joke about it and spoil it in advance over the last years. Every time we saw these discussions pop up, and I was literally not allowed to wear this T-shirt here over the last streams for some reason. Like I've been
For some reason,
I've been stopped by hate from wearing this T-shirt. Now I can wear it. So this was fun, and I'm very happy that this was so well received, as both the reveal and then our little not little, it was quite the effort, but the Scroll of Fame references to all the Roman comments that so we are very happy as well. That gave us, I think, Manu, right, a lot of confidence to seeing that that there is this demand, that people are waiting for this setting and are waiting for this Anno. So knowing that you work to something where you see, okay, we're pretty sure people will be super excited about it. That's a nice feeling.
I mean, we knew from the older studies and so on that Rome was requested a lot, but to finally deliver it and reveal it now as a first step is really something special for us.
Yeah, I think, Anno during this time period is its own unique thing as well. And I think that's something we always believed in, and I'm sure when players finally get their chance to play the game, they're going to see that too. Yep.
And the Scroll of Fame, it's really inspired by you, the community, because I have to be honest, we all read your comments, like from the YouTube, from the Discord, from the Reddit, like we read them. We really do read them.
Also the mean ones.
Yeah, those two. We really see them, and then we discuss them as a team. And you have been such an amazing core and loyal community, and just a wonderfully inviting and kind community that, frankly, this felt like a no-brainer. We also have wonderful agency partners that we work with.
Agency
that help us
partners.
bring this to life as well. So it's a full team effort to pull off something like this. But
You're
it's
a
really
company.
for you. It's inspired by you. And honestly, we had so much fun reading them, picking them out. It was hours of reading them, picking them out, laughing.
Yeah. And then obviously knowing your names, you as like the players knowing your names, and then knowing that, okay, he's getting or she's getting this reply. I'm like, okay, this is I'm looking forward to
the reaction.
To the reaction.
It was super emotional, I think, for all of us. Yeah. So it's also too, and I really had the feeling that we can also bring something back to the community.
Yeah.
So a strong signal that we are. That we are close to you, that we are listening to you, and
we hear
so
you.
I think it's a fantastic part of the campaign.
Yeah, I can shout out here. Tom and Dulka, I can see in chat, for example. Tom, you also got
here
your
at Corporation. We hear you. Purchase and consume.
Our town crier
Pre-order.
created a little video for you, and we are super happy to see that everyone loves him so much.
Yes.
Yeah, he's cool. The town crier is cool. That guy's great.
Yeah. Casting him was a no-brainer. So it was just. He's really fun.
I remember the first time when I met him, and we did the first track or the shoot with him, and we were asked about, do you have some feedback? And I was just sitting there. No, it was perfect.
It was great. Yeah, he was super fun, easygoing on set. He's really easy to work with, and
what's his name?
He
Say
feels
his
like
name.
he's made for this role.
He is it.
Yeah, he is it. Yeah, he is the town crier. So it's perfect.
Who is he?
And we actually have some behind the scenes footage of the trilogy data, and then you two, you were both on location. I think you, Matt, you were involved also in the
Great
you
deal.
said, hey, like the preparation, the research for that. So we can talk about that in like a few minutes when we show the BTS for the trailer, and then you can like get a bit of an impression of what was involved in making this come to life. I have one more question written down here specifically for like
You're well prepared, Ollie.
Right?
Yeah.
I have cards and everything. On the three of you, more like a personal question. What your personal excitement for the setting is? Like if you want me to start, I always loved the Roman era, and I've loved Asterix and Obelix comics, and I've played like Roman video games. That was always my setting, like ancient times. So getting an Anno, which I've also been playing since 1602, so 1998, I guess. This was like, it's like perfect fit for me. So up to you. I don't know who wants to start. What's your what personally excites you about the setting?
I mean, I think it's a perfect match for a builder game, a premier builder game like Anno, because you build up not only fantastic structures, but there's also such a rich world that we can explore in our game.
Love me
and,
some
with
building.
the feature set of Anno, I think it's really a great fit, and I also in particular like the slightly different angle that we add to the setting, so that you play in the provinces, that you meet the people there. I think also the role for an Anno game as a governor is super cool. In some of the older Annos, it was sometimes a bit hard to understand who are you in this world, but we believe with the governor we have also here a really good role that we can attach to the player experience, and so I'm super happy about it.
I think for me, it's narratively to see this different take on Rome, to challenge how Rome is seen in popular cultural media. It's so often this militaristic man, red, right? Like we see it all the time. And I think what we are working on really challenges that perception.
Oh,
It's
no.
multiculturalism, it's peace, it's trade. And that I'm super excited to kind of put the idea of Rome on its head a little bit. And
We found a loophole to get out of
stories from
including a
marketing
bunch of
and
military
tell those
stuff in
stories
one of the
through
most
it. So that's-
militaristic
it's really fun to
times
do
in
that.
human history.
Yeah, I mean, there's some
No.
crazy, enlightening stories that we came across in the research and so on, and discovering, for
Oh,
example,
no.
that they found pepper pots, from the Far East in near Scotland, in early AD, so in the Roman period. So
They
things
found
like that
pepper
are just
pots
kind of
from
like
the east
mind-blowing,
in
how
the
did
UK.
this,
That's going to be interesting as hell to
globalised
transport
network
that
of things
stuff.
happen, and yeah, so that got us into it. But yeah, personally speaking, I mean, I think everyone in narrative. So we have a few narrative team people, and they all are super interested in classical period, degrees and so on in it, and things like that. So there's a lot of kind of connection we have personally. As a kid, right, I grew up in Italy for a small period of time, and during that time, I just remember skipping. Through the ruins of Pompeii and Herculaneum and stuff. Sounding a bit pretentious now, but there is that kind of. Actually, I have quite a close feeling with that region and stuff. So I think it's kind of, it's joyous, to be working on something like that. It really is.
Yeah, and as the empire was united by conquest, and still it was a peaceful phase that we are going to portray.
Yeah.
I think I was also amazed.
All right, so they
about
keep
how,
pumping out peace,
some
which
of the
makes me
issues
worried
that
about
people
those
in
of you who
the
want
time
ground
period can
combat,
solve how
and to
similar
not
they are
have any
to
sort
some
of-
the issues that we need to tackle. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's the start of the somehow globalization at this time period, and you have a lot of different cultures trying to
It doesn't
live
have to be
together
hardcore
somehow,
warfare, but it
and,
should have some
you have the
military
rich and the
units for
poor,
the
and
ground.
I think that's
Players
a lot
are
of
going to wanna
things
fight
that,
each other.
that where we can relate to.
Yeah, I mean, that weird and the weird and the sort of expected things about this time period can also be turned into kind of cultural things. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people will recognise
Yes.
in the present in the game and in the Roman world, and there's a lot of stuff that's just completely bonkers that you wouldn't even think was possible in human history, let alone in this period.
Yep. Yeah. You don't even want to get me started on transformative entertainment. Yeah.
We'll keep that for a future live
And
stream.
what I believe that Anno can do.
But someone asked, we changed the
Don't-
channel name. Like the
Yeah.
channel
Don't
is now
use these
Anno,
words,
and official
ma'am.
Anno completely rebranded Anno channel.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's very
Don't
clear
use
what kind
these
of content you
marketing
can expect on
terms.
this
Don't do
channel going
that.
forward. Then obviously this was our take on how we approach it, but we didn't work in a vacuum. Like we've been even until reveal. So even before reveal, we already had playtests. We did playtests over the last
Ooh.
year, roughly every year.
Ooh.
So we literally went and got feedback from players already to make
What is
sure are we on
transformative
the right
entertainment?
track?
Even I don't know.
Because there
Let's
were
look
some
it up.
questions in chat like, are they changing something completely? And then for exactly that, to make sure, are we doing it on the right track? Are we fulfilling the Roman fantasy? But also are we also fulfilling the
Storytelling,
Anno fantasy?
painting,
So
music
we had playtests. We double checked, and the feedback was very positive.
to
Manu, right?
precipitate
Correct me
constructive
if I'm wrong.
individual and social
so we are very
change,
confident that we are also delivering this
commonly
the
cognitive and
Anno game
emotional.
that our community
Transformative
or
arts.
existing player base will.
So
expect.
there's not really a need to dramatically change what we've created. So we still like Anno as it is, and there will be innovations that we're gonna reveal at a later stage when we are ready. But the core will stay Anno, and we will gonna deliver.
Transformative entertainment adds to a value of an original
and there
work.
will be more playtests in the future. I think
So-
we already
Yes.
said that also on the Anno Union, but you
It's
can
like in
definitely expect,
God of
as
War,
we've done it with 1800, we'll be
where they
doing
would go to a
playtests,
certain
some
period of
smaller ones,
time,
some
but they
bigger ones
added
later
their
down the
own
line.
stuff to it.
And to double check, are
AKA,
we on the right
you know,
track
based
still?
on a
We
true
check,
story,
hey, is
that
the
kind of thing.
balancing correct? Is this do
Like
people
what they
the
said
story?
earlier about how it's
Is
based on
this-
Rome,
do
but
they
it's not
understand it?
history
Do they feel
completely.
like connected to that? So there will
Gives
be
you
these
wiggle
kind of
room to do different
checks
things.
from our side that we want to make, where we are making that sure. And if there's because I've seen questions on other channels, like if we have invite session where we were looking for more playtesters, then you'll find that kind of information on the Anno Union as well. So talking Anno Union, for everyone who's new and is not following us for 1800, we started the Anno Union website specifically for 1800, also back then with the reveal. And it was basically, it is our platform to talk to you directly from us, from the dev team, with dedicated blogs with news from us, so we keep you informed on what's happening, what's
Just do
coming
that
up
on
in the
Twitter,
future.
dude.
And we also announce things like the live stream there. And this is not really changing. We will still have news. Obviously, we just revealed, so there's not that much information on Anno 117 Pax Romana there quite yet. But this will happen over
What
the
does the
next
bottom
month.
of
So
his
we'll have
shirt say?
Matt,
I've got your back, and then what does
very
that
soon,
say?
going a bit more into detail on the setting in the world, and then more than then we let him talk today. here
Has
in the
anybody
stream.
seen the bottom of the shirt?
Probably a good thing.
So he can go all in on this one in the dedicated article, or maybe two, depending on how much you write. And then we'll have the same thing on other aspects of the game, on specific systems. But we'll also want to give you like insights into how we're working. Like
You just
how
hope
we're
it's an
approaching,
innocent, fun game? Yeah, me too. I just want a fun
Matt
game.
And others like Jan, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Like came together and then started with their first concepts, like how we approaching. Hey, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make a new Anno. How are we starting with this? And then later down the line, we have the game designers coming in and then looking into more detail in like the systems, etc. So we'll have get these kind of insights as well, and these are like just telling you how we're working and why are we working in a specific way maybe. All along the way, you're always happy to ask questions on the Anno Union in the comment section across every channel, and we'll try to answer as much as we can. But as you said, hey Ole, we just revealed there's a lot of things that we can't tell you right now, or that we want to tell you at a later date when we have certain things ready, because the game is not ready in a state where we like, hey, we can tell you about all the features, because quite a few of the features are still very much in development, could change. Quite a bit of stuff could also change. So you will learn about some of the things at a later date via these channels.
But don't worry, we want to tell you. Yes. We are just as excited as you. We literally can't wait to tell you. We also just want to make sure we're doing the best service to you all, the community, and not showing you something before it's ready that maybe is not in final game, etc. So we want to show you when we know, hey, it's final, this is going to be in the game. But I promise you, we are just as eager, just as excited. Can't wait to show you.
But again, it's been a little bit over a week since our reveal. So
I know.
I mean, we are still jet lagged. So.
This as well.
Yes.
From your child. When did you come back from LA?
Thursday,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
So that on top of everything. But yeah, so don't worry. We'll have plenty of news coming up in the coming months. And there are also quite a few questions where like, hey, why are you ignoring my question? Don't worry. We'll only ignore them for temporarily. we'll get back on these questions at a later date as all the like spicy things, especially when you're asking very specific, like detailed, systematic questions. That's not something we're going into just yet, but we'll do in the future. We'll try to answer as many questions and all questions that we can later down the line. So that was that on the, obviously in the Anno Union, on top of the playtest, is also one of these things where we gather feedback, where the comments that you're posting now in chat or that you're posting on a Union, this is also something that the team reads. And
they may read your questions and stuff in the comment section below this stream
down the line,
on YouTube or in the chat. So if
system,
you guys have a
and
question,
everyone is
just
like,
throw
oh
it out
my
there.
God,
You
what am I
never
doing
know
there?
if they'll
So
read
either
it.
we didn't explain it properly, or maybe we also went in the wrong direction. So this
Or
is
maybe
also
they'll
one of
come
the
to me
channels
for
we're
my
using
feedback, and I'll bring up stuff that you guys
gathering in
said. I
addition
mean,
to
I don't know.
the playtest.
It might happen. It's happened
so
before.
I promised the behind the scenes trailer.
Oh.
The first thing before that,
new
I
trailer?
wanted to put in
New
chat
trailer?
because not in chat, like because we did hide some Easter eggs.
Yes.
In the trailer. So if I know some people already started gathering because we asked on
Okay,
Twitter.
what do we got?
I think like people started gathering some information on Easter eggs. So if you haven't already, let us know in chat what you found. And I think in the meantime we can roll the BTS of the trailer.
Trailer.
You might see a
hell does that mean?
empty, dull wasteland with a few rocks. But I see a huge potential to build a province fit
on this exciting journey together.
Cost effective.
Finally,
Oh, they hired.
Anno inspired
They
by the Roman
fired half the
Empire.
people while they were on the
We can't
set.
wait to see your wonderful creations.
You can take it from here.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. You're all fired. Cool. Cost effective for the shareholder. Thanks.
And we're back, and I see a swamp.
Good luck getting home.
As a message in chat. Yeah, so I think that we can go in that in a second, right? So I've already seen on Discord there was one guy who reverse image searched the locations and found out where we shot the various places of the trailer, but also found out where we shot the Scroll of Fame. At which location?
Really?
I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
People are stalkers, man. What the hell?
Pendragon Xor or something like this. Sorry if you're watching and I miss their name, but I think it was something like that. So
People
props to you
doing
for
Ge-
finding
geo
crazy.
search or whatever the hell. GeoGuessr.
I don't even remember the
That's
name of
crazy.
the location where we shot the Scroll of Fame.
but you've just been talking about while you were watching about like the atmosphere. But can you the location? Obviously, we wanted to have both provinces represented in that trailer, right?
Yeah, that was
I
a
didn't even
huge
notice
thing,
the
and I
two
think it's
trailers until
very
they
unique for the players that
until
they
I
get to
just
choose
read
their
that on their
starting province
website.
for the first time. Will it be Albion or will it be Latium?
Okay, let's listen
So
for
we really
marketing
wanted
words,
that
chat.
to come through
Let's
in
get
the reveal
triggered by
trailer.
marketing words.
And casting these locations was the same effort as casting a person. We couldn't necessarily film all of a location in one space. We filmed the ox in a different location and brought it in and post to the swamp. That swamp is a nature preserve. So it was really difficult to find these landscapes. Also, too, we were looking for landscapes that felt untouched and like the year 117. So there was a lot of work that had to be done in post to almost go back in time and take you to these untouched landscapes. We shot in Croatia. And we needed
Croatia.
to make
Big shout out to
Croatia
you
feel like three different
Croatians.
locations, right? It had to feel like swampy
shout out.
Britannia, it had to feel like sunny Italy, and then of course we had to get that iconic Anno coast that we're known for.
Yeah, true.
And those cliffs, that rolling sea, and we wanted to make it feel like the game where you're like, oh yes, I could put a harbor there. I could put my tree production there.
I mean, we also had to look at the current status of the game.
Yes.
And we try to, really mimic the
Mimic the
places that
game.
you will see.
Yeah.
And this was super fun. Yeah.
It was super fun. And it took, that's the thing, to make something like that a minute, it took 6 months. It took 6 months with a team of, 50 plus people. It was a huge effort to make something like that happen. So I'm incredible.
How many days did we shoot? I think 2 days?
2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
So these 2 days were super weird because basically we were there was a truck and you go inside the truck, you get driven around, you don't know where you are. I was always checking on my phone where I am.
Sounds spooky to me.
Yeah. Because everything is organized, everything is super streamlined. You need to be fast on set, and then off you go to the next location.
Yeah.
This was
And we
quite
really
an experience.
did. We had
The rug is
incredible
crinkled.
production
Chat
partners.
saying. This
Wyden Kennedy.
is what you guys are paying attention to.
And Division, these guys really helped make it happen. We couldn't do it alone. It was a full team effort to do this thing. But also, every detail was considered down to the town crier's sandals. Also, what he's holding. I feel like I bugged Matt so many times of like, would his bedroll look like this? Would he carry a canister for water? Where would his food go? Like.
And every time I was like, this game's a fiction, don't worry, it's fine.
And I was like, I want to get it accurate. Too, we looked at the making the wax tablet, the color of the wax. All of this stuff was considered to really make something, history that felt real, and to take the player back in time. So it was
Well,
a
I'm
huge
glad they
labor
put
of
so
love,
much
again, done
attention
for the
into the
community.
trailer. I mean,
And
hopefully they
think-
do that with the game, right?
I don't think we could get to 9 Easter eggs. I wish I could make one up for you, but I think there's 8 in there. I'm really sorry we couldn't. Yeah. But the biggest one is the podium that he stands on.
Yeah,
so
that's from
obviously
HBO's
we reveal the number of the game, the year 117, before we get to the end card of the trailer. You see it in there. And then I don't know if you guys saw in the BT. Can I reveal an Easter egg, Ollie?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if you saw in the BTS, the behind the scenes video, that around the year 117 is in Roman numerals every Anno game that we've had. So it's a nice shout out to the franchise, the history of the brand.
History of the
The
brand.
funniest thing was Lola, the ox or the cow,
Yeah.
because she was crazy, yeah. And at some point, she really ran around in the compound there, yeah?
Yeah.
So we were all jumping up, hiding between the trucks. As it's also made it into the BTS where Lisa is
Yes.
running away.
Yes. Yes.
Sounds like someone needs to build more farm modules.
Yes.
Yeah. And finding these animals, these sheep that look Roman, the Ora ox is extinct, right?
That's why I wanted to ask, like, Matt, were you also involved in
Yeah.
the
Ox
finding the
casting.
right animals that were time accurate?
No. I'm gonna evade that one.
Our Marianne, one of our games,
Animator, yeah.
She's new in gaming. She will not
was
change her
very
ways.
involved in the
Yeah, to be
animals.
fair, that's her
We went back
education.
and
She was
forth
taught
on
to
how
speak
Roman
this
animals
way.
are depicted in
This
games.
is what she went to
and
school for.
Everything, yes. And
But I'm a
I do
gamer,
know an Aura
and I
ox
must
should
be
not
mad.
that pale. They are darker in color, but we are historically.
Sometimes you just got to take a few liberties with the history.
We're historically inspired, not historically accurate. Yeah.
I think the chances that people will say, I don't think this is historically accurate ox. The chances are quite low. But if we get
our fans, I
if we
think
can
they
get
are
it
really
close
into
enough,
it.
yeah.
So
I think-
they're really great.
So far, Chan, I
if you
think the
find
purpose
within
of
a
this
few hours the
stream
locations of the shoot,
is
I'm also
basically
sure you
just
will
like,
find out
okay,
our ox.
we're now
Should be.
completely
Yeah.
switching
The horns are
from
much bigger,
any
it
and
has
all
a bigger
1800 talk
body.
to now, hey,
but it
we're
was-
now going
it
to be
was super
talking
fun
about
to cast
Anno
these
117.
animals, to have them.
So for all their communication on Twitter and Reddit and forums and Discords,
that moment where
they're
he gets
now
interrupted by
officially
a sheep, that's a
in
blooper.
117 mode.
That was not planned.
So
it
now
was
they're
not
going to be-
filmed, or it was
everything
filmed,
from
but it
here
was
on
not
out is going to
planned
be
captured. And that was a blooper,
images
and we made a decision
and
with our
trailers
agency partners
and more
to keep it in because
discussion
we thought it was so
and
funny.
possible betas and play
The
tests.
funniest moment was the wind simulation.
Wind.
Because we did one shoot
Yeah.
on the top of a mountain, and it was so stormy, it was freaking
Really
cold,
windy.
and so it was super windy, and the
Yeah.
toga of the town crier was really flattering in the wind, or flattering? No, flattering is different.
Flapping.
Flapping in the wind.
Flapping in the wind. I love it.
And so the next day there was no wind, and there was this one scene. Sadly, we didn't make it into the BTS where a whole bunch of people tried to simulate wind. They put some.
Do they think gamers give
so
two
Yeah.
some paper sheets or what's
craps about the table if it's the
what is
right
it,
color?
A leaf blower?
Yes,
If they're
and
willing to
everything
pay this
going
much
on.
attention to the
Flashing
trailer,
lines, yeah,
though,
to simulate
it
the
does
wind.
mean that
I mean, in
they're
the
going to be
end,
paying a
with
lot of
some
attention
CGI,
to the
it was
game.
It
good,
worked out. It
but
looks
it was super
fantastic.
fun.
And one of the
It was
most
super
interesting
fun.
things
It
that they
was
mentioned
long
was the
days.
pepper pot
These
that was
were
found in
super-
England from the
super long
east,
days.
you know,
So
from
if you
the Far
think
East.
it's only fun to do such things.
So that also brings into question,
because basically you're waiting.
what will
the whole
trading be
day
like
until
outside the
you
Roman
have this
Empire?
10
Like, can we
minutes of,
trade
action
Of
and
moment,
that's it,
yeah.
places
And then
outside
to
of Rome?
Our product manager Lisa, we had to make her stand in the mud to do her.
It was no real mud. No.
I don't know what it was. Yes, and then in solidarity, I also stood in the swamp. Yeah, but we had a lot of fun.
But a lot of trailer talk.
The
They
team
love their trailer. They're very
getting-
proud of it.
Getting to honestly have you on set, the creative director of the game, and look at these locations and look at them in such detail, to me, that's really rewarding because to see the creative director of the game be like, yeah, this feels like it, is you're just like, okay, we're not.
But
completely
basically,
messing
this
up.
stream is
And I think
the
also the concept of the
NDA
trailer was very
TBD
strong. Although
stream.
we don't show that much.
Can't tell you anything.
It was really important to.
You can ask questions,
to
can't tell you
celebrate this
anything. When can we
empty
tell you?
canvas that
TBD.
we
Can't
are
tell you
in.
when. We can't tell you now, and we can't tell you when we can tell you. Also, we can't tell you what we can tell you, and we can't tell you what we can't tell
What
you.
was the
Essentially,
thing
it's
you want to
this.
do with the trailer?
Yeah.
Because people were like, oh, this is like it's live action. Like we didn't do a CGI trailer, for
Yeah.
example. So obviously we talked about the provinces that we teased there, 2 provinces. What did we want to do
It's
with
basically
our
this.
reveal from your creative
Yeah.
sides of it? What wanted we to express with that first trailer?
I think we took a big risk. Oftentimes there's not a lot of live action.
Will it be on Steam?
trailers in
Can't
gaming,
can't tell you if Steam
and
exists. We don't
knew
know.
if we were going to do live action, we had to do it right.
How
And
much will
any
it be?
game could do
We
live
can't tell you
action.
if
I really
currency
feel like it
exists.
was
We can
Anno,
neither
because
confirm nor
the
deny
game
the
you guys are
existence of
making,
commerce
it
or
feels
currency
so alive
in modern
from
times.
the way the trees move, the birds, everything. So I felt
Will
like
it be
we had
multiplayer?
license
Can't tell you
to
if
do
one or
live
two people will
action.
play this game. We
That
can
meant
neither
every
confirm
detail
nor
needed to be
deny
considered.
the existence of
But
multiple
also,
players.
given that so much of
Let's
the
talk
game
about
is
the
still in
trailer, though. The
development and
cow
changing,
had 2
that's
horns.
what-
That's a
what
shout out
we needed
to a
to
number
focus
in
on
one of
something
the
very
Anno
specific,
games, which you
and
might
that is the
recognize as
fans'
Anno
desire to
2205
And
and
then
2070.
it kind of spiraled from there. Where did they build? Where can they build? They can build in these 2 different provinces, and we focused on the land and kind of this.
What is a
inviting
Steam?
Call from the land to build on, which
And I
is-
think also it
yeah.
was also a call to our fans.
Yeah.
So because everyone who plays Anno knows this excitement if you approach or explore an empty strip of land and
where do you want to put
exactly.
your wherever. I'm going to start quoting 1800, and I'm like, I don't know. Can I start? Because I don't want to confuse anybody of like, yeah. You're gonna have fire departments, like
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that the Romans have a way to,
to
to
put
do
out
something about fires, but
yeah.
I've already like.
Well, we
sent
can't
questions.
confirm
They
nor
were
deny
pretty
the
bad at
existence
that,
of
but
fire.
yes.
Oh, please tell us. This goes right in my thing because I've been advocating for the whole time of 1800 we don't need fire stations. So if you can confirm that for
Yeah, I mean, there is I can't remember what the quotation is, but there is somewhere in the annals talk of people going up on top of the 7 hills of Rome every evening just to look at the firework display that was going on, which I think is pretty horrific and funny, and that's kind of how the Romans were. So, well.
Yeah.
Right, there are some fire jokes in the chat, of course. Right, then we talked about the trailer, not the trailer, the channel, the Twitch channel got a visual makeover, and so this is the whole branding topic that's your expertise. We want to do actually that in like far more detail in the future, so we'll do an extra live stream with you and another special guest to go over that
Special
and explain a
guest.
bit our thought behind that. But maybe if you can
Julius
give us a
Caesar
quick overview,
himself?
because I've been some confusion, like, oh, why are you changing things? Like, wasn't it? And I think it wasn't so much about changing, but like about checking what are we like identifying, self-identifying more than like reinventing, of course.
What?
The rebrand of Anno is really self-identifying with the desire to build. So you'll see that our community symbol, this A, is inspired by the caliper and building tools, and it should feel like a tool to build with. And
they
it is
they
for
changed
community.
the
It's a
A of
rallying cry.
Anno to look more
It's
Roman.
on our
We got
social
you.
icons. Put it on T-shirts, pins.
I'm super envious because
Bro, we
Manu has
have
a
to
ring
have
with
a
the-
conference room meeting about changing the font of the A.
Yeah.
How about what the
so
F?
It means a lot to us, this symbol. It is a true sign of a builder, and it is a tool in the hand of the community, we believe. And then also, too, our logo, again, we'll go over on a later date all the Easter eggs that are also in the brand.
We're in a marketing meeting. Should I go put on it? Hold on, I'm going to get a
Anno,
tie.
this is also incredibly symmetrical. Our game is based on a grid. So we wanted to bring kind of that grid-like symmetrical thing into the branding. So it all comes back to the desire to build and what it means to be a builder.
Right. So I think we are really, we've tested it as well.
Yeah.
With plenty of people.
Yes.
The branding. So
Yeah.
I think that.
Before anything goes public, we test in focus groups, the concept of trailers, the way the branding looks. We want to make sure before it goes out in public that the community is really excited.
Sorry, I'm
about
late,
it and we're
chat.
not making a misstep because
Sorry, I'm
we
late
care
to the
about
big
you,
meeting.
We care about your reactions to things, and so we do a lot of due diligence before something goes live. That doesn't mean we don't take risks. Like I think sometimes we do make a decision on, hey, this is where we need to push the brand or the franchise, and we do a risk, but I think it's a calculated risk. Yeah.
Right. So we have roughly like 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
15 minutes in the meeting,
we
guys.
said
15
we
minutes.
want to do a dedicated Q&A segment, and then we have like a
Oh
little
my God, we
outro,
can
like
take
telling you
questions.
what's happening next month. So these kind of things. Is there any burning topic that one of the three of you wants to like get out? One kind of message that you want to mention at this point, or do you think I missed asking you something specific that we definitely should have?
Wish list.
Matt, you look like you want to talk about something.
I mean, a million things, but I can't yet. Waiting for the right time.
Yes, I think this is really a starting point for us now to talk about the game and there's so much exciting stuff that we're gonna reveal in the
Okay, guys, at the Anno
upcoming
meeting now.
months, and we can't wait to share more details with you.
Right, then I'll start looking at the chat and see what we can answer. Again, like apologies so far in advance that I might just skip some questions when it doesn't make sense. Except if I say no, can't answer that now. You're not really getting any information from me this way. So yeah, I'll pick some question. There's again someone Manu who thinks you're just dressed very well. So
Thank you.
Might be the same guy as last time. I thought you should know. There are questions about localization. I've seen questions about like which languages, etc. We're definitely far away from that topic. It's like same with if you ask us like which voice actor are you hiring? Like, guys, it's a bit too early for these detailed questions.
But accessibility is important to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, we will try to have as many languages as possible that make sense. It's always also like a money question, as I think reiterated occasionally in the past.
You're Ubisoft. Just release a DLC
make
when you
it,
need money.
Fun and accessible for as many of our fans as possible. How long has the game been in development?
Can't tell you. Glomar.
Obviously, thinking about it a bit already earlier.
Yes, but I mean the full team or on full force, full steam ahead. We are working on it since 1 year. So where the team really joined us and we really worked all together on the game.
And I think this is also something to that we can go into detail later. I've been already warning our production team that I want to have like a blog on the production side of things to then go through these development phases, like what is the pre-production, production phase, beta, alpha, beta phase, just to again make it clear for you guys where we right now and how we approaching developing a game, and to get it like that, clear that up for you. So because I know that it's a bit confusing, it's also confusing for me sometimes. So I think that makes sense. There's so many detailed questions that there have been requests to bring our town cry into the game.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that many times since yesterday, especially.
I mean,
we're big fans.
We are big fans of him. We like him. I will say, he was always intended to be a marketing character, to be an asset that we can talk about the game, talk about the brand. So you look at Geico has the Gecko and Progressive has Flow. So he is our marketing character. However, we hear you. And we have a lot of love for him.
Also, I want to add the voice.
We hear you.
Team are also loud.
Yeah, they are. They are, yeah.
So let's
I don't want to overpromise anything, but yeah.
She is wearing shoes on the couch. That is true.
We don't have a
Confirmed.
release date. We say 2025. Yeah. That's the current time, and we'll give a precise date later. Again, we've mentioned a few times now that we're still very much in development. You said we started like about a year ago, and so. Yeah, we want to make sure we get it right and then reveal more details that includes the release, etc. in the future. Is Anno 9 still possible? I know we've disappointed some people by calling it Anno 117 and not doing it as the 9th Anno title. I hope you forgive us for this transgression, this big mistake that we've done here.
But I know so many of you in the community wanted Anno 9, and we, in the Scroll of Fame, you'll find a big shout out to all of you that wanted it. And we did. We looked at it.
Sure.
We looked at it. But really, the time period that your team is talking about is the Pax Romana. And the year 117 is the height of that. So I think we wanted to stay true to the time period and, be as authentic as possible.
As if you're just joining us, we're having a shareholders meeting for the potential return on investment for the next product in this brand known as Anno.
And that does add up to 9.
We'll be launching this product in 2025 for the gamers,
some questions where I think
or whatever they call themselves. We do believe this will generate revenue and value for the shareholders. Also, we had a cow in our trailer. Did you see our cow? It was really cool. Let's talk about the van that we rode in.
So some questions might already be answered by just looking at
we rode in a van, and it was really funny.
Thinking about that and
the van didn't have windows.
That hand motion. We'll just leave that there.
But a disclaimer also, these are early key arts. Yes, and we just started to really work on the game, and there's still a long way to go. So things might change, but it gives you already some good indications about our thinking. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I said like it's the vision that we're like want to go for. It's not the it's what we were planning for exactly. I've seen a Reddit thread of someone who was like looked at there were so many birds in the artworks and wondered if there's like a hidden message. I was like, I don't think so, but
We like birds.
oh, and there was one thing I didn't put in my notes here, but there's one guy who said I think on the trailer after they started discovering like the trailer locations, like where we shot the trailer, there was one guy who said that he hopes that the location becomes as famous as that house in the roof from Breaking Bad, where where he threw the pizza on. That became like that thing where people were traveling there and throwing pizza. Yeah. And
All right.
he's hoping that
Here's the thing, chat. In the future, we're going to have to cover more of these because honestly, I have no idea what they could show next in future, like corporate meetings. Let's just call it the corporate meeting stream. Because here's the thing. If they do another one of these, which they will, and if I don't cover it, which I probably will cover it, if I don't, then that's when they show 2.5 hours of solid gameplay or something, and I'll miss it. So, like, I have to, yes, we're going to be listening more about Anno Albuquerque.
Cliff shot where we have him on the podium on the cliff. It's taken out in post, but he's on a harness because it's quite high. So we were really safe, but he is on a harness.
Standing on his small box in a toga.
Yeah, which I think we drilled into the rocks for extra safety. Yeah, so
also.
This is a trailer post-production meeting.
Said, we want to do that Scroll of Fame, and then it was like, but he has to be clean in this one. Because he was very dirty in the on purpose in the trailer. I was like, he can't look dirty. He's in the palace now. Yeah. He has to look like clean. He has to have a shower. Yeah. He has to be like this. This is where he is usually in the palace and like.
So I hope you like my tie chat.
Very funny. It's important detail.
I totally did it wrong, but it's kind of hard to put a tie over a hoodie.
That's what I mean. So much has been considered. Down to the metal that is used in the palace and what metal they would have. So yes, there's a lot of details. Everything is super considered. Yeah.
Oh, there are questions about the music.
Oh, they build it?
No, like what kind of music we're doing for the game, and I think this is. I mean, it's tricky. Matt, correct me, but there's not that much information on the exact type of music that the Romans did.
Well. There is quite a bit. Mano, maybe you could take this question.
I mean, we, of course, in the research phase...
Can neither confirm nor deny the existence of music.
There are some performers out there who try to recreate the music. Sadly, to my ears, it's really tough.
Is there a pre-release for the game?
Yes,
well, interestingly enough, shockingly, chat,
elements, but,
they can't tell you anything. They can't show you anything. We can't. Like the game's not finished. So much so that they can't confirm any of the features nor deny any of the features. They do have a lovely trailer,
like an orchestra of dog whistles.
But there's nothing there. But you should pre-purchase it though.
It's really tough.
Go to their website and pre-purchase. But we can't show anything. Can't tell you anything.
Dog whistles.
Other than that, there will be
after they've been like everyone's so happy
like two regions that you'll be commanding, and that it's in 11.7.
They've been asking about pre-orders and collected editions. You know, if we were that far, then we would have had that with the reveal. Obviously, we are not, so you have to wait a little bit until we go in detail on like.
Hold on, push the pre-order, push the pre-order, push the pre-order, push the pre-order, push the pre-order.
We're still
push the pre-order, push the pre-order, push the pre-order.
All this stuff is like. So detailed that
she's gonna push the pre-order. She's getting ready.
Seriously, please wish list. That's a really great indicator of how many people are interested.
There it is.
Who wants it? So wish listing is a huge thing for us.
Yeah, I've wish listed already.
Me too.
I might have missed that actually.
Ollie, please wish this. I remember wish listing. I'm a console player.
All right, wish listing is fine. That's free,
I actually
and
like
it keeps your eye on it.
Maybe that makes me a nut, but I really like it. So I wish list on PlayStation.
Wish list is fine.
Store. I was like, wow,
wish
this
listing
looks good.
is fine.
Like, I was like, wow, we did this thing. Yeah. I like the loading sound, Ollie.
Yeah, I mean, that's again like sometimes I'm like, okay, either we've addressed it already or we're not addressing it right now. Did you have some artworks to show us?
You should ask if it's going to be on Steam.
But,
they won't answer that. But I think the answer is no. Because Ubisoft doesn't want Steam taking 30%.
Yeah. So maybe I can just.
I'm not sure if they can.
What's
hear us
the
right
meaning behind
Manu,
this artwork? Of course,
I'm
it
not
should.
Can I know that should be here.
What's
right?
the
It should
meaning
be right.
behind this artwork? What do you mean?
Yeah.
So it, of course,
Albion?
this is a starting point of an Anno game.
Any
So
other
where you are on
place?
your beautiful ship, and as we have the topic of the 2 provinces that you can choose from, this is something we wanted to showcase in this artwork, and I think it's really nice. The artworks were done also from our beautiful art team.
Okay, honestly, this is
so we are
this is
very happy
gorgeous.
about it. So and here, that's just a bit more in detail, featuring the 2 provinces.
Very pretty.
And also the governor in his central role into the game. And that's just another variation of the previous artwork, where you can see also the 2 provinces combined, and with you in your role as a central point in the story of Anno 117.
So interestingly enough, the New World is
Right.
like the British Isles, or
Will
well,
Xbox
Albion.
and PC be
precisely.
the same game? Is that a
Well,
question
then again, it's
for-
based on history, so they could bring in,
like if
you
the
know,
platforms, depending, like because we announced we are releasing on both PC as well as Xbox Series and the
here
PlayStation
we go,
5.
Here we go. Here we go.
So like
So the idea is to have the same experience, yes.
I think that was a big help here also to have the console version of 1800 to get the experience on this one. So
I mean, putting the console version together was really for us a good test bed to see are we as team able to deliver a console version of the game, and also to find out if Anno makes sense on consoles.
Yeah.
And we are super happy that we cracked it. And
Yeah, those
also
are
looking
lavender
into the
fields. So
numbers, we see that
I don't know what
if
else
our
lavender
fans
was
on
used for.
consoles have
Is
as much
lavender a
fun with the game
dye as well?
Our players on PC.
I know it smells
we do.
pretty, but
Yeah, it's awesome.
what else was lavender used for?
yeah. So I think we're closing in, and this kind of answers some of the other questions. There are some very specific questions about the Jorgensens, because we know this is like a like a serious recurring character now. Don't think we'll talk about that now. But
Can I ask a question for the community?
You can ask a question to the community.
Yeah, I am curious. How many times did you have to listen to the trailer before you realized the term "build it" was hidden in there?
The first time.
I'll tell you my answer if you tell me yours.
I heard it the first time. Build it.
I
Yeah,
don't know if you got it on the first listen or
I got it the first time you
I
said it
know
because
that
I
I
was
didn't
listening.
get it on the first one.
I also didn't get
so-
it on the first one. It took
So
me.
you have 4, 2, it took a day, 5 times, 1, never noticed it, 5 times, 2 times. So it's like all over the place.
Yeah.
Some got it on the first try, some like took multiple tries.
Yeah. It was like, I think the second time I watched it that I heard it, and it was the second time towards the end, and then I heard it and I was like, holy crap,
Soup,
that's
maybe?
amazing.
Can neither confirm
Yeah.
nor deny lavender.
So it was a nice little Easter egg
Yes.
too that our music team put in for us, and they kind of waited for us to find it, and it was a no-brainer once we heard it. Yeah.
Right. So I think we're coming to the end. There's been a question that I'll just go now over in the outro. That the best place if you want to talk about the game, but also like give feedback to us or like ask us things. Again, like we might not be able to answer everything right now. Good place is the Anno Union, of course. Anno-union.com is our website. There's like comment section under each of our blog posts. Another good place where we are also active and where lots of other fans from the community are active is the subreddit, the Anno subreddit, as well as the Annoverse Discord server. We're also active there, and there's loads of veterans and new players joining, especially now after the reveal. So this is a good place to go to and both ask questions, just post things, and discuss and speculate with other players. And then in terms of news, in terms of what's coming up, and
Lavender was used
everything,
in
we'll keep you
medicinal
informed on
dyes
those
and
channels,
perfume. Ooh.
but also our social channels, via Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, if you're using that, depending on your favorite platform. But you will make sure to get the news on all these channels. And then over the coming months, as we said, there'll be far more information about the game. We're just 1 week after the reveal, so there's be far more information to come on all kinds of topics and systems, and later down the line, features that you've been asking about that we can't talk about right now, but this is all coming. I've seen the question on gameplay a few times. That's also coming, but as we said also in the before, we were still very early. We want to make sure that we're showing you that we're not showing something that we're cutting in a week. Basically, This is the idea. So we'll show you and we talk about the game and give you details on the game, but you will still have to wait a little bit until we go into detail. But we have artwork and that kind of stuff we can show you and can illustrate what you can expect from the game either way. We'll also do occasional live streams. Still, you will find the announcements there as well on our channels. The next one is going
That's good info.
with Hey and another guest that we're not revealing right now on the topic of branding.
Yeah.
It's like basically a behind the scenes look
That
at
we
like
can skip.
the process behind that. I think it's very interesting, especially if you're following the series for a while, because then you also have your own impressions of what an Anno game is and what it needs to be and how it's supposed to present itself. So this is all things that, correct me.
No.
This is all things that
Why
go
does it come down to
into
the brand?
the
Shouldn't
branding
that be
topic
the
and
writer
how
and
we
the
present
game
ourselves.
director making the game,
And
not
We dug in
presenting the
for
product?
months on what an Anno game is, should be.
Those
means,
two on the other side of the
to get
couch know what an
to
Anno
really
game is. They
distinct
made the damn
brand.
thing. Those two.
Right. Yeah.
Just ask them questions.
Looking at like a last minute if there's any questions that we
But also, please, if you haven't watched the Scroll of Fame, check it out. You might be featured in there. Yeah, that was a huge labor of love, and a big shout out to Ollie, because low key Ollie is the town crier behind the handle. So if you're getting a chat from the town crier, it's this one. Yeah.
and Celeste, let's not forget about Celeste, our community manager, who's doing also amazing work behind the scenes. So this is where
Definitely Celeste.
we are the ones that you will most likely first meet if you're on any of these mentioned channels and chatting to us. All right, then again, there'll be far more information in the future. Don't worry. We just started.
Am I in the Scroll of Fame?
And
No.
same for any kind of events. When we are at any kind of event where you can meet us, any kind of things, we'll announce that in time, and you'll be able to prepare, think about it, this kind of thing. Nothing to announce today, but for anything that happens in the future, you'll find this information on all our channels. All right. Any closing words from the three? Any of you, or all three of you, maybe?
Pax Romana.
See you soon.
Yeah. See you soon.
See ya.
All right, then thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you very much, youth, the three of you, for joining me today. Thank you to our wonderful crew behind the scenes here, behind the cameras. Again, Basti, Julia, and then also Lisa and Celeste, who've been keeping an eye on you and making sure that you guys behave and chat. See you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. Thank you guys for attending the shareholder meeting. All right. There was a bit of information out of this that actually is useful. So if you missed it, basically Anno is going to have 2 different regions that you can control. And apparently you can, I'm pretty sure you could choose which one to start on. So Albion, which is like basically the British Isles, and then some other location that I'm not exactly clear on where it was. They mentioned it, but I'm not sure where it is in the Roman Empire. I'm assuming it's close to the Mediterranean somewhere. So basically you're settling on settled lands, which is the whole Anno thing. But essentially they showed they showed 3 trailers basically. The announcement trailer for the game with the town crier. Then they went over the scrolls thing, which is basically answering community questions that were like 2, 3, 4 years old in some cases. And then also they talked about like the behind the scenes for the trailer too, and then that was about it. You can go to the Anno Union to know more. So, okay, not really anything on gameplay. They didn't even confirm like 45-degree roads or anything like that. There really was nothing too much on gameplay. But however, I did like the fact that they showed this in like a moving format, and also the one with the there was the one with the it's over here on the left, but you can't see it, the mill and stuff. So they showed some of the buildings and what the vibe of the game will be, but that was about it. And this was our first look at Pax Romana officially from Ubisoft / for Blue Byte. So and you can see here how the map is split to kind of showcase the two, like the dark and dreary and kind of like the Mediterranean, the differences between the two lands being settled. So that's cool, which is something I actually didn't know, but it was listed here on the website. So we have Latium and Albion as the 2 places. But they kind of seem to dodge the military thing when they talked about how the empire, after all the conquest, was kind of at peace and that there really wasn't much military stuff going on. So they kind of found an out to not. I don't know. I'm nervous. I don't think we're going to see this game on Steam day one or for a very long time, not even the first year. And I don't think we're going to see a lot of military stuff. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they take the opportunity to basically get rid of rumors or whatnot. Now, this game's not releasing for another year, at least, or maybe even a year and a half, which doesn't seem like a lot of time for a game where there's a lot of balancing to do with like creating production chains and then ways to transport those things around. But in the future, whenever we cover Anno, Pax Romana, it's going to be when I heavily suspect that we're going to see gameplay or some sort of a new worthwhile announcement. So we're gonna skip the shareholder meetings. We're not gonna go to the brand stuff. But anytime you see me covering something, it's going to be when I highly suspect or that there is a confirmation of something related. So these must be the two regions here and here then. I thought there was going to be like a central region, but I guess it's these two. But anyway, yeah. So whenever there's going to be heavy confirmed Anno news, then we're going to do that. Military is a DLC. Maybe we'll see something like that. But there needs to be. I know they want to go for peace, but there has to be war. Otherwise, like you need other options to be able to take over other players. You know, it's going to be multiplayer, and you're going to want to conquer other players. So they have to make it so you can do it via, I don't know, like in Anno 1800 when you could buy shares or when you could like invade somebody and like siege their ports and stuff. Like there needs to be that. There needs to be options. You can't just do things by just earning more money than somebody else. That's going to be boring. You need options and defenses and things like that. So I don't know. The brand. There was too much brand talk. You know, like as gamers who want to buy the game and play the game, we want to know about the game, not about how we're using. I don't know. Like some of the talk was interesting, but we're here to see the game. So anyway, yeah, definitely follow them on Twitter though, because they'll be talking, like they'll be dropping more trailers and things like that. And if there's any major leaks or whatnot, I'll cover it because we're not getting anything from the source. So whenever there's like, for example, the thumbnail of today's YouTube stream, if you go back and check that out, that's actually a leaked thumbnail where 45-degree roads are kind of confirmed, although they didn't mention anything about it. And we heavily suspect that'll be kind of like a new feature, but it won't be like free build like Manor Lords. But that could change, but unlikely to change. All right, well, we're going to go live to a new video on the channel. Speaking of building empires and building wonders, we're going to build a bear empire in Age of Wonders 4. Age of Wonders 4 has a new DLC, and there's also a new game out today called Still Wakes the Deep, and we're going to take a look at that just after that video. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching our first little Anno co-stream. We'll be covering more of these in the future, but only the good ones, or at least the ones that I think will be good. I mean, I don't know what they're going to cover, but it's going to be. We're going to shoot for gameplay. We're going to shoot for no more IRL and couch time. No more couch time. We're going to go to actual real stuff. So anyway, enjoy the new video that's just premiering on the channel. Thank you very much, everybody, for your time, and we'll try to cover more information in the future. Maybe in videos too, especially if they show a gameplay trailer, which probably, according to what they said, will be a long time, aka maybe a couple months. So anyway, there you go, everybody. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you all in a bit for our next stream. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll see you all very soon.